Martell Holt's attempt to push Ariane Curry into the center of Love and Marriage Huntsville, it sent a clear and unmistakable message, not just to Martell, but to the cast, the producers, and the audience watching closely. This was not a quiet suggestion or a minor edit. It was a firm boundary, and that boundary marked a shift in how much control cast members would be allowed to have over the direction of the show. For years, viewers have complained about forced storylines and recycled drama. Season after season, fans voiced their exhaustion with conflicts that felt repetitive instead of meaningful. So, when OWN stepped in, many felt the network was finally acknowledging that fatigue. Martell genuinely believed his plan could reshape the show. In his mind, controversy equals ratings. He believed that putting Ariane Curry front and center would explode conversations, light up social media, and boost viewership. What he failed to realize or refused to accept was that the audience had already lived through this chapter multiple times. Instead of excitement, the idea sparked frustration. OWN executives reportedly saw that immediately. They understood that bringing Ariane back into the spotlight would not feel fresh. It would feel like reopening a wound that never truly healed for both the cast and the viewers who had been emotionally invested since the early seasons. Love and Marriage Huntsville built its audience because it felt grounded in reality. Even when things got messy, the mess served a purpose. Viewers watched marriages fall apart, friendships strain, and people grow in real time. There was pain, but there was also movement. Martella's attempt to force Ariane into the center of the narrative felt different. It did not grow organically from the story. It did not reflect evolving relationships. It felt calculated, artificial, and driven by desperation rather than storytelling. OWN reportedly recognized that immediately and shut the idea down before it could cause lasting damage. Ariane Curry's name has long been associated with chaos in Martell's personal storyline. Every time she re-enters the conversation, it triggers the same unresolved emotions, the same arguments, and the same exhaustion. For many viewers, her presence represents a never-ending cycle, one they have repeatedly said they are tired of revisiting. Martell seemed to believe increasing her screen time would refresh his storyline. Executives, however, saw it for what it was: repetition disguised as reinvention. Audiences do not just want drama. They want progression. They want stories that go somewhere, not storylines that spin in circles. Behind the scenes, producers reportedly were frustrated by Martell's insistence. For years, they had worked to balance conflict with substance. That balance is delicate in reality television. Too little drama and viewers disengage. Too much and the show becomes toxic. Martell's plan threatened to destroy that balance entirely. One insider reportedly described it as watching someone walk into a fire while insisting it would keep them warm. The network understood that while controversy can bring short-term attention, it often causes long-term damage that is far harder to fix. Fans had been warning about this for seasons. Social media was flooded with comments asking for growth, new stories, and real change. When rumors began circulating that Martell wanted Ariane to become a central figure, the backlash was immediate and overwhelming. Instead of excitement, viewers expressed annoyance and disappointment. Many said they felt exhausted just thinking about it. OWN reportedly paid close attention and realized pushing forward would risk alienating the show's most loyal audience. Martell's biggest mistake may have been believing he could control the narrative without respecting how deeply viewers are invested. Reality television relies on trust. Even when scenes are edited, viewers need to feel emotional truth. Once that trust erodes, it is incredibly difficult to rebuild. Martell's determination to push Ariane into the spotlight made it clear his focus was less about meaningful storytelling and more about winning a personal battle. That mindset directly clashed with what both the network and the audience wanted. Producers reportedly explained this to him multiple times. Controversy alone does not make good television. There must be balance, growth, and moments that feel earned. Instead of adjusting, Martell reportedly doubled down, believing the network would eventually give in. OWN's response made it clear those days were over. Shutting down Martell's plan became symbolic of a larger shift. The network was no longer willing to sacrifice long-term integrity for short-term noise. This situation also exposed deeper issues within the show. For years, fans felt some storylines were forced while others were ignored. Important conversations were cut, while small conflicts were stretched across multiple episodes. That imbalance made the show feel less authentic. Martell's attempt to center Ariane only highlighted those problems. Social media became a mirror reflecting audience frustration in real time. Many fans openly said they would stop watching if Ariane became a main focus. Others said the show had already lost its heart and this would be the final straw. While Martell posted cryptic messages online suggesting people would eventually understand, his posts were met with sarcasm, not curiosity. Behind closed doors, tensions reportedly reached a breaking point. Producers were scrambling to protect the season. Some insiders described stopping Martell as trying to hold back a flood with bare hands. The cast felt the strain as well. Longtime members reportedly were tired of chaos overshadowing their real stories. They wanted space to share growth, challenges, and personal journeys without being dragged into recycled drama. Fans noticed. Many said the show no longer felt entertaining, it felt emotionally draining. As backlash grew, rumors surfaced that Martell might receive a solo show focused on healing, motherhood, and entrepreneurship. Fans embraced the idea immediately. Whether true or not, it highlighted how ready viewers were to move forward. OWN executives reportedly made it very clear Ariane would not become a central figure. This decision was not about eliminating drama, it was about protecting the show's reputation. The repeated attempts to force Ariane into the storyline did not add depth, they exposed a lack of new ideas. Executives reportedly worried that without change, fatigue would destroy the series. Ratings might hold temporarily, but the energy that once made the show special was fading. This raised serious questions about Martell's judgment. Could he recognize when a storyline had run its course, or was he too focused on staying relevant at any cost? The fallout was intense. Hashtags trended, memes circulated, comment sections became therapy sessions for frustrated viewers. Some anonymous sources even claimed producers threatened to quit if Ariane was forced into the spotlight. Whether fully accurate or not, the message was clear. This was about the future of the show. Martell reportedly continued holding meetings insisting Ariane would save ratings until executives allegedly stopped him mid-presentation. That moment symbolized the disconnect between him and everyone else involved. And that brings us to the real estate conversation that production didn't fully show. The lunch scene with Chris Fletcher and Melody was presented as a simple business meeting, but what viewers didn't see was Chris calling him out. The last investment property never sold and couldn't be rented. That's why Ariane ended up living there. Not strategy, but lack of options. That detail changes everything. If a high-end property fails to sell or rent, logic says reassess, adjust, pivot. But Martell's response appears to be building another similar property with the same price point and expectations. That's not innovation, that's stubbornness. Business is about supply and demand. If the demand is not there, building more supply makes no sense. Building million-dollar homes nobody can buy is not a flex, it's a red flag. Production cutting that conversation only fuels the belief that Martell is protected. Editing removes accountability and reshapes perception. And that's why this entire situation feels